11 top thoughts to help you succeed soon. Good luck to you and your friends. Normal people change the results. Excellent people change the cause. And the top gurus change their minds. Carol Dweck, professor of psychology at Stanford University, mentioned in the study of lifelong maturity that the difference between humans, it's not about talent or hard work. It's about thinking. A person's level of thinking, it's the limit of their lives. Here are the top 11 ways to think. If we nurture them, you will achieve success sooner than others. Number 1. Adaptive thinking. A drop of water that weighs about 50 times the weight of a mosquito. When combined with acceleration due to gravity, the effect of water droplets on mosquitoes, it's no different than a big bus hitting you. But at SAO on rainy days, most mosquitoes are safe. An American professor who used a camera high speed to record mosquito escape scenes in the rain. When drops of water fall on the mosquito's wings and legs, it'll tilt in the direction of the drop. Then flip over and let the water drop off the body. The mosquito's body is coated with a layer of material water-resistant like lotus leaf. Make it easy for them to get out of the water by just stretching your legs and wings. Even when hit by a drop of water, mosquitoes will follow the force of the water droplet and fall down together, then quickly adjust the posture to separate from the water droplet and keep flying. No matter how heavy the water is, mosquitoes can still escape, thanks to the ability to constantly adjust strategy, respond to the environment and situation. This also proves Darwin's view of evolution. That the species exists, it's not the strongest or the smartest. It's the species that's most responsive to change. Andy Grove, Intel's founder, proposed a theory of change. At 10 times the speed change from the outside, it's always faster than we expected. 10 times more. Take a look. How many jobs are stable? It's been completely transformed. How many once thriving jobs are being replaced by virtual reality? In this age of constant movement, if you want stability, we have to be proactive in adapting to change. Before we go any further, don't forget to follow the channel to learn more about money and help you quickly achieve financial freedom. Number 2. Probabilistic thinking. In World War II, a statistical research group at the University of Columbia assigned to analyze the data and come up with the optimal strategy to reduce 7 losses for American aircraft. They noticed the number of bullet holes on different parts of the aircraft, not equally, and given that, so reinforce the areas that get hit the most. It sounds reasonable at first, but the brilliant mathematician Abraham Walt objected. He said it should be reinforced in places with the fewest bullet holes. It's in the engine. Walt explained that from a probabilistic point of view, every part of the plane, they all have the same chance of being shot. But at SAO the bullet holes in the engine are less. He speculated that planes that were hit by engines can't go back, and the planes have bullet holes in other parts. We can still land safely. Similar to the patient's leg injury, more in the chest. It's not because the legs are more vulnerable, it's because people with chest injuries are often dead. Normal people, I saw the planes that were shot down. But the masters, see the missing bullet holes. The gap between them lies in probabilistic thinking. Who have probabilistic thinking, they can make more accurate decisions. Investment guru Charlie Munger, he used to be wise in his investments. It's like a fishing story. The first rule of fishing is to fish where there's fish. And the second rule is to always remember the first rule. All our lives we face 3 problems. What not to do and what to do again. Probabilistic thinking help us see what we can do, what not to do and what needs to be done for a long time. Number Persian thinking spanking 7. In the 1990s, Your library needs to transfer over 13 million books from the old London campus to new campus in St. Pancras. Estimated shipping cost, up to be £5 million. If you are a library manager, how will you think of ways to reduce costs? Hire cheaper workers, reduce shipping costs. But before the enormous amount of work, all the solutions seem to be sea cow salt. What would a top thinker do? A young employee in the library. I went to the manager. The young employee told the manager, I have a way. Just give me £150,000. The next day, this young man published a report in the newspaper that from today the British Library will be open for free and unlimited for all citizens. To save cost for the transfer of location, please return books to the new library, according to the specified address. Young people have turned traditional thinking about transferring books into a book return mindset. It only costs a small part of the projected budget, and I've done 90% of the book transfer. 7 is really that strong. In the genius book on the left, the crazy guy on the right has a sentence. If thinking is a wall, the world is on the other side of the wall. This world never has a dead end. The only thing stopping your back is your fixed mindset. When you run into a problem and you're at a dead end, try to change direction. Maybe you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. For Thoughts 4 million. Michael Simmons, an American best-selling author. I spent 5 years researching about self-made billionaire entrepreneurs. He discovered that these brilliant founders have a mindset very similar. When faced with a problem, they use four-dimensional thinking to see the world. While most people, it just stops at one-sided thinking. People with one-dimensional thinking limit their vision in a specific area of expertise. People with four-dimensional thinking, you can see from the past to the future. It's taken hundreds of years to make a decision. Who have one-sided thinking, pursuing only short-term benefits, while people with four-dimensional thinking focus on long-term benefits. Take, for example, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. He's willing to invest billions of dollars in experiments. You can lose 7 or take 7 years to make a profit. Or like Warren Buffett, chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. Only invest in companies that you believe. I can keep it for 10 years. Masayoshi Son, founder of SoftBank. I once asked my employees a question. At SAO, most people don't achieve great success. The staff are confused. Masayi Osason painted a mountain on paper. Beneath the mountain is a circle. And at the top of the mountain is another circle. 2 circles connected by ideal letters. He said that the ideal is like a guiding light. When you have a clear goal, you'll be more patient, more calm, and more consistent. Short-term success will not disorient you. And 7 temporary defeats don't scare you. So don't overestimate it. Short-term achievements of a year. And don't underestimate the 15 changes. Always do the right thing to do. Time will give you the answer. Years of upstream thinking. Team of 5 editors of a reality show. I've interviewed before top programmers in the country and asked them that. What are the core challenges in their profession? Maybe you think that their job is just to write better code, master more programming languages. But the answers of these experts, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. They are all answering the demand query at the same time. Vice President of Tencent. I shared a story during his time at Google. He's responsible for raising the conversion rate from search to advertising. This time the company's sales team noticed low conversion rate of Chinese users and suggest to the engineering department that increase the font size of the ads. and change the background color to stand out more. Instead of adjusting directly, he and his team asked, "What's the core problem that you want to solve?" After the exchange, they realized that business groups want to increase conversion rates. When investigating further, they found out that the website of the portal in China, there are many banners at the top. Make users not pay attention to the top of the page. That rolls straight down. Google Ad Display Location. It's right at the top. Then they move the ad position down to the bottom of the page, and the conversion rate goes up. The technical top engineers don't just focus on writing code, they also see people's needs behind the code. This is upstream thinking. In the book, Mackenzie's Chart Thinking Method. Chart Thinking Method, Mackenzie. It also refers to a similar working principle. Number 6. Lazy ant thinking. At Hokkaido University, Japan, a research group on evolutionary biology conducted an experiment with 3 groups of ants. Each group consists of 30 children to see how they divide their work. They found that in the group, most ants are very hardworking, busy cleaning the food transport nest, and take care of the young. But some ants are very lazy. They are just around, watch while the others are working. Biologists call these ants sloth ants, and mark them. It's amazing that when the team cutting off the ants' food source, the hardworking ants get panicked. While the sloth ants have been marked, calm down, lead the herd in search of new food sources. In fact, lazy ants aren't really lazy. They spend a lot of time spying. This is the famous lazy ant effect. Have you ever fallen into the trap of hardworking ants? Psychologist Jordan Peterson each gave a self-checking table as follows. You spend a lot of time doing the easiest things, and complacent that even without a record, but put in a lot of effort. Deferred in the name of preparation. It looks busy, but there's actually no progress. Never check the results of work. Read a lot of books, but never summed up the rules. Or summing it up doesn't apply to life. If you have any of these signs, it's time to change. When the plug bends forward, don't forget to look further to see the direction. Number 7. Frame thinking. In the mid-19th century, psychologist Kurt Kofko has come up with the theory of the landscape. There are 2 types of external environment. A geographic environment is a physical environment. 2 operating environments. 6. It's the environment of the human imagination. He told a story like this. One winter night, a man on a horse came to an inn. In the blinding snowstorm, he was glad to have found a place to stay. The owner was surprised and asked the man where he came from. The man pointed outside the inn. The owner of the restaurant said horribly, "You know what? He had just ridden across Lake Constance." The man collapsed at the owner's feet. As the man rode across the lake is the geographic environment in your mind. It's just a field covered in snow. If you knew you were crossing a lake, big dangerous, maybe you wouldn't dare ride a horse up there. But because you think it's hard soil, so you keep moving forward. After learning the truth, he was shocked to the point of collapse. Humans are products of the environment. The best way to change yourself. It's always about putting yourself in a nurturing environment. Want to increase your ability to focus? Let's create an unobstructed space. Want to raise awareness? Remove the short video applications of poor quality, and instead read the classics. I want to be in a positive mood. Stay away from things that bother you. Less arguing with others. And spend a lot of time in nature. If you are not satisfied with the current situation, let's start by changing the environment. Change yourself starting right now. 8. Diverting thinking. Not every wall is worth hitting. Life is more likely. And there's no regulation. It forces you to follow a path to the end. Despite the difficulties, when the road is not clear, change the path in time. That's how you take responsibility. Best for my life, a netizen. She shared the story of her cousin. She's over 30 years old, have a stable job. In the eyes of her family, she is still considered a bad girl. Every family gathering, she couldn't help but be questioned by her uncles. Then, her parents asked the interview to give her a boy. They both have similar interests and quickly fall in love with each other. Soon they were talking about marriage. One day cousin accidentally detected a message on your boyfriend's phone and knew that he had a gambling habit. Every month, almost all of your salary is spent on this. And your family helped you hide it. At first I tried to advise him to give up, because gambling is so addictive. Even if you don't argue, but I don't care about advice either. Then one day I came to borrow money to cover life. I was surprised to ask, "You just got paid and you need a loan?" You said I lost everything. You even get upset and blame me. You're not married, you've been meddling in my affairs. I didn't say another word. Turn your back and walk away immediately. I came home that night and asked for a break. The next day, both sides of the family constantly advised me to think again, thought the boy would change, and shouldn't give up easily. But you are still determined to break up. Then I met a better man. And the Kia guy was in debt because of gambling. They even lost their jobs and had to escape debt. In this story, the core thing, it's not that perseverance works. But there are things that shouldn't last forever. Because it's just bigotry. Life is not always smooth. And not every wall, it's all worth our heads in. The wise abandonment would be better than blind bigotry. Stop in time, pull your foot out of the swamp. I can find a new life. Number 9. Thinking of filling the hole. If you can't solve the problem, you will become a problem. The CEO of Alipay once said, "Whatever Jack Ma's decision is, my mission is only one. Make that decision the right one." One person's greatest success lies in the ability to solve problems, whether in work or in life. The gap-filling mindset is the core competitiveness. Cycles once told about a personal experience. When you first started working at a company, after just 3 days, the CEO suddenly announced that he was in a meeting. Just walked into the meeting room before understanding the content. You've been scolded by the CEO. You're in charge of the company's website, right? This bad website must be reformed quickly. In 30 days I want to see the new version launched. At that time the cycle of many people. I've only done it for 3 days, and knew absolutely nothing about running the site. But I quickly understood that this is a trap set by those who came before to test you. Some people may refuse to take the job, but the cycle didn't refuse. I just nod and go on. During that month I was busy planning for categories, find technicians, coordinate the work of the 5 UI design team. And finally, I've just released a new version ahead of schedule. The CEO is very pleased and then discovered that you're not in charge of the website. This makes the CEO appreciate you even more and ask the Director General to appoint the cycle as a product manager. At the same time, Topic appointed him as the company's top employee of the year. After just over a month of work from a new employee, Cycles has become the boss's favorite. Thanks to the ability to fill holes, the cycle says that every time you have to fill a hole, an opportunity to self-train and self-develop. helps to improve willpower and psychological strength to be able to deal with nature, with all the difficulties, and build a solid foundation for a future career. It's always a series of holes after the hole. And your job is to learn how to fill the hole well. Only by filling the hole can you move forward. The distance between people shows inability. They can fill the hole, or not in the face of difficulty. Good people know how to find solutions. While ordinary people, he tried to justify his helplessness and shirking responsibility. How far one can go. It depends on how big their hole is. Number 14. Single strong wooden crate. Don't let your weaknesses ruin your advantage. Really smart people. Someone who knows his strengths. I just saw the weakness. Instead of trying to deal with weaknesses, find ways to make the most of yourself. And find your own shining moments. There's a famous German scientist named Otto Wallach. As a child, Theo, parents will and study literature. But myself, you're not interested in literature. After a semester, the teacher must inform his parents that Wallace is very hard-working but very persistent. Someone like that, even with perfect virtue, it cannot be used in literature. His parents later let him study painting. But the art teacher, I also think you are not talented. With his paintings not being noticed by the AI. Wallach met a lot of failures when he went the wrong way. This greatly reduces his confidence. Until his kind-hearted chemistry teacher. I advise you that you are meticulous and have a talent for practice. SAO don't try pursuing chemistry. And from there the Wallach's ability is on fire. He quickly developed into an outstanding talent in the field of chemistry. In 1910, he won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, thanks to the success of synthetic flavoring. There is an old saying that the size is short and the length is long. The development of the human mind. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Defects can become obstacles along the way and limit our growth. Smart people are those who know how to use their strengths and avoid weakness. From there we can open the way of life. It's getting bigger and smoother. Number 11. Empty cup thinking. Sometimes the reset of life requires emptying mind. There was a story like this online. A young man, after 7 failed startups, he blamed the times and circumstances around him. Then, I heard my parents talk about a great Zen master at the temple. I decided to meet you. At first the master's disciples received him, but he was arrogant and said, "A minor monk. They are qualified to receive me." Not long after, Zen master himself, "I welcome you in a very humble way." When the master makes tea, even though the cup is full, he kept pouring more water. The young man asked, "The cup is full and I keep pouring." The master laughed. "That's right, when the cup is full, you can pour more water." When I heard this, I suddenly understood. The teacher reminded me that no matter where or when, we also need to keep an empty mind. Only when you always know, emptying yourself and not clinging to the past, we can rebuild the future. A Coyote actor once shared on a show about a small detail when she acted Chung with Tran Dao Min. Tin Dao Ming, a famous actor with professional skills and attitude. He showed that ability through their words and actions. After the show is over, the church is not in a hurry to leave, but stands silently beside, watch the young actors acting. The nurse couldn't help but be curious and asked Mr. Chen. He used to stand by and watch us play. "Is there anything to tell you?" Dao Ming replied with a smile. "Even though I'm a senior, but I always have it in my heart, must maintain a learning attitude, to join the younger generation without arrogance. As a leading national actor, Tran Dao Min still keeps the spirit of three human beings, all self-love. One of the three people with me will be my teacher. Always be humble to learn. It's thanks to this empty cup mindset that his acting skills are getting better and better. French writer Émile Zola once said, "The whole meaning of life, it's about constantly exploring the unknown and constantly increasing knowledge. If a person is forever lost in the aura of the past and complacent, they will not be able to achieve new breakthroughs. Extraordinary people often dare to reinvent themselves, erase the past, and start all over again, to create a better version of ourselves." Tung used to say, "A person's social worth and status, proportional to their irreplaceable capabilities." Where the irreplaceable possibilities come from, it comes from an independent personality and a unique way of thinking. Life is a journey, training the ability to break boundaries. Thinking. Education is a bronze medal. Power is a silver medal. Relationships are a gold medal. And thinking is the trump card. The right way of thinking. Much more important than effort. Diverting thinking. Help stop and move in time. Gap-filling thinking, capacity building. Create distance with others. Strong wooden crate thinking. Help to discover and highlight advantages. Empty cup thinking helps life be re-established. Start again from the beginning. The rest of my life. I hope that they all have top-notch methods of thinking. To live more in harmony with this world. There is a saying, "How much you have accomplished in this life? It depends on your thinking model." How to think, deciding the way. The mind can't reach any altitude. The footsteps can't get there. The books you read. The way you go. The experiences you have, and the people you meet. They are all stepping stones to help upgrade your thinking. Continue to sharpen in the world, training in the mind, and then one day, you will overcome your own limitations to see the world bigger. Thank you for following today's content. If you think my content is valuable, don't forget to share with friends and family. Follow me. Learn more about the secrets of money. Hello and see you later.